Good evening, class. This is Mr. Eggleston, and this is the Algebra 1 Fall Midterm Review, Part B. The first question on this is second half, so this is Unit 2. So Boa starts the oven at his dad's pizza restaurant and waits for it to preheat. The temperature of the oven can be modeled by the equation T equals 70 plus 30m, where m is the number of minutes since Boaz started the oven, and T is the temperature of the oven in degrees Fahrenheit. What does the value 30 represent? Well, if you look at this equation, I'll just kind of write it here so we can, because this is multiple choice. Okay. So notice this 30, because that's what they asked you about. What does the value 30 represent? This 30 is the number multiplying the m, the number of minutes. And since we're talking about temperature of the oven, the 30 is the rate of change of the temperature. It's the slope of the temperature graph in temperature per minute. So I don't know why the increase in temperature per minute, sorry. So let's see, it looks like A is the answer because that's exactly what we said, but let's make sure. Is it the initial temperature of the oven? No. Time it takes to preheat the oven? No. The temperature of the pizza when it goes in the oven? No. Okay, a line passes through the points 8, this is a hard question, 8, 3, comma, -2, comma, 4, and some point that we don't know the x value of, but it has a y value of 5. Notice the y's are going up by 1 each time. Okay. And if you look at the x's, here the x's go down by 10. So if that's the case, this would have to be -2 minus 10. Come on, I don't know why that keeps doing that. Minus 10. So J would be -12. Because it's -2 plus a -10, which gives us -12. That's the easiest way to look at it. It's looking at the pattern. We're looking at how y changes for a change in x, and we saw that the x changes by -10 every time y goes up by 1. So since this right here shows that y went up by 1 compared to here, that means we have to add -10 to -2, which is -12. There is a proportional relationship between the number of gallons of gas purchased and the total amount of money paid if 12 gallons of gas cost $58.68. So the way to, and they want to know which of the following is true. We need to find how much the gallon gas costs per gallon. So it was, So this is 58.68 divided by the 12 gallons. And if you use your calculator, okay. Oh, come on. There we go. It is 58.68 divided by 12 gives us that each gallon of gas costs $4.89. That's the per gallon rate. Okay, so they're saying 9 gallons cost $44.28. So all we got to do is check. 9 times 4.89 is 44.01. It can't be A, because 9 gallons doesn't cost $44.28, it costs $44.01. Then we try 11, okay? 11 times 4.89, 11 times 4.89, I'm using my calculator, because I'm no dummy. I know I want to get this right, it's a test. $53.79, so that can't be it. Let's try 15. 15 times 4.89. And that works out to be 73 0.35. And so the correct choice is C. Okay. JB buys a Lovett. I used to buy my ice cream, by the way. That's kind of funny. I know this because I used to go to Cold Stone Creamery a lot when I was younger, I had a young family, and it was my wife and my little baby girl, and now my 20 whatever was it 24-year-old girl, who's a mom. I used to go to Cold Stone Creamery all the time. So here it is. The base price for a Lovett, I remember that. They used to call it a Lovett. That's the big size. Like it's the medium size, and I forget what they called the small, is $5.49, and each mix-in costs 99 cents. Write an equation that gives the total cost C of his ice cream with M mix-ins. Well, that should be fairly straightforward because C would be the base cost of $5.49 plus 99 cents, which is 0.99 M, and that's it. That's the equation. They didn't ask you to graph it. I would not ask you to graph something that was that ugly. I mean, with 0.99 slope, that's a little bit rough to graph by hand. Okay. Reed's phone has 128 megabytes of memory. 128 megabytes of memory for photos. He takes two types of photos. Screenshots, which use 0.4 megabytes, and JPEG photos, which use 0.8 megabytes of memory. Let X be the number of screenshots he can take, and Y represent the number of JPEG photos he can take. Write a linear equation that represents X, that relates X and Y. Well, this is perfectly set up for a standard form of the equation. That is, you have 0.4. Now, that's for screenshots, and that's X. So it'll be 0.4X plus, what was the Y? Y represents the number of JPEG photos, and JPEGs use double the amount. And that's got to equal the amount of megabytes that she has on her phone, which is 128 megabytes. Okay, now we're talking gigabyte storage size nowadays. So there's an equation. Then it says graph. All right. When it's written like this, the easiest way is to use cover, or set X equals 0 and solve for Y, and then set Y equals 0 and solve for X. So when X is 0, I'll do it over here. This right here is gone because X is 0, and you have to solve 0.8Y equals 128. So take 128, and that's 160. So that's the y-intercept, and that dot sits right here. Okay. Then we're going to do a very similar thing and let y equal 0, that means that goes away, and you have to solve 0.4x equals 128. So 128 divided by 0.4 is 320, which is, strangely enough, double 160. Since if you look at this, the y is storage rate is double the x. Okay, so we plot those 2 points. Here is roughly when x is 0. Actually, when x is 0, it's 160. When y is 0, it's 320. I don't know why that dot's there. We have that, and we just connect the two. Okay. Interpret the y-intercept of the graph in the context of this problem. Well, the y is the JPEG photos. So what the y-intercept means is Reed can store up to 160. 160, X is, or Y is, what's Y again? Number of screenshots is X. Okay. Can store up to 160 JPEG videos or pictures. Okay. Pictures. Okay. Write the equation for the line with zero slope that passes through the points 5, -1. Well, if you look at this, zero slope is, we can use this, y equals mx plus b, but m is 0. So that'd be 0 times x plus b, which is just b. What is b? Well, b is the y value. And remember, this is x comma y. So b equals -1, and so the equation is y equals -1. It's a horizontal line. All right. Now, Ryan is comparing two car rental companies to find the best rate for his employees. Renterprise charges a daily fee of $20 a day plus 15 cents for every 3 miles. Okay. So, and then, plot an XY coordinate plane with miles driven while rented on the horizontal axis, total price in dollars for the rental on the vertical axis. Which one's steeper? Would have a steeper slope. Justify your answer. Well, steeper slope has nothing to do with how much they're charging on a daily rate. So we don't have to worry about the $20, nor the $25. What we want to know is the per mile rate. So Renterprise, I have no idea. Daily rate would be 15, or not daily, but mileage rate would be 15 cents for every 3 miles, which is 0.05. The RERT was 20 cents every 5 miles, which equals 0.4 cents per mile. Okay. Which one would have a steeper slope? It would be Renterprise. With a slope of 0.2 divided by 5 is not 0.4, it's 0.04. Yeah, that would have been, okay. Renterprise with 0.05 slope. Okay. Finally, the last one, I can call this done, is this thing about daily trash pickup. Okay? They give you a table. They tell you after 1 month, okay, it says a waste collection service charges customer a monthly fee, which they don't tell us. Additionally, customers pay an annual yard waste pickup. Oh, an annual yard waste pickup fee in January. All right. So if you look at this, in 1 month, this is January right here. That amount is $154. Now we got to figure out what the monthly rate is. Okay. So that means the slope. So when we go from there to there, 199 or 154 to 199, I'm just a little disappointed. The Blue Jays just took the lead. Okay, that's 45. Okay, with a change of 3. So what is a monthly rate? Which is the slope? It would be $45 divided by 3 months, which equals $15 per month. Okay? So, what does 1 full year of waste service cost? Okay, that's the first question. So if we know it's $15 per month and we know the 10th month is $289, we just have to go 2 more months. So this would be $289 plus 2 times the 15, which is 30. So it's $289 plus 30. And that's $319. Okay, $319 is the cost of 1 full year. What does the annual yard waste pickup fee cost? Well, since they tell us they charge it in January. That means it's 154, which should have been 15 if it's per month, includes the annual pickup rate. So we take the 154, subtract out the 15 that was the monthly, and that leaves us with $139. And that's the annual yard waste pickup fee. And that is pretty much it. Okay. I hope you have a great evening. Look at this. If you have more questions, please come see me at office hours, after school, before school, all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you later.